Okay, so very briefly, an introduction to Eurisy as well. So you're probably already familiar with our organization if you have joined our previous sessions. But so very briefly, our mission statement. So we are a non-profit association based in Paris, and we try to connect end user communities with space services, so satellite-based services. So we try to promote satellite-based applications and try to communicate about the benefits for our daily life. And we organize events for that. So we try to connect these companies together with communities that are out of the traditional boundaries of the space community and space sector. So we organize events, we publish articles and reports, and we also inform. So we provide feedback about potential barriers that would limit the uptake of satellite-based innovations and services. So that's in a nutshell what we do, and you can find more information about Eurisy on our website, and of course you can follow us on the social media channels. So our members mostly include space agencies, so national space agencies across Europe, as well as the European Space Agency. So if you see that that your country is not yet represented, please feel free to reach out to us as an organization. And even if your country is already represented, just feel free to contact us. You can find our contact on the right, or on the top right of my slide, or otherwise you can contact us through the website. So previously on this space space for climate series, we covered on our first session we covered the topic of plant health and biodiversity. Our second session was about maritime activities. So we talked about coastal monitoring. We talked about the detection of illegal fisheries. And today the format is the same. So we will invite, or we will talk about or show you the different perspectives. So one from government, one from education, and then some businesses that will present their case. And today the topic is all about energy. So you probably heard about the EU Green Deal. So the European Union tries to, or aims to, be climate neutral by 2050, which is going to be a huge challenge, of course, because today we have only decreased our greenhouse gas emissions by 20%. So there is still a lot of work to do. So the need is to transform our energy system. So we try to really from today's rigid and linear energy system to a more integrated system where also consumers can be producers of energy. And yeah, of course, energy is a big chunk of our greenhouse gas emissions and accounts for 75% of the total greenhouse gas emissions. And how can space contribute to this transformation, or to this decarbonization? Well, on different levels, of course. So we have the different satellite applications. First of all, Earth observation. And also a few years ago in 2018, we had, as Eurisy, we had this workshop around different applications provided by satellite-based services. So you can find the link here on the slide, which will be shared with you. And of course, there will also follow a recap article of this session following probably next week. So we will inform you about all of this. So for now, just a short introduction of what space can do for the decarbonization. So first of all, Earth observation, yeah, it's relevant for infrastructure maintenance, of course. An example would be vegetation that can interfere with electrical grids, cables, for example, trees overgrowing cables. Ground displacement, of course, also weather forecasting. So today we will have a few examples of wind models, so for offshore energy, also for solar power. And of course, there's also the aspect of space weather. So you probably heard of the Carrington event, which took place in the 19th century, which was a big event, solar wind geomagnetic storm, which, if that would happen today, it would be a disaster for our networks. So that's also important that we monitor that carefully. So also satellite navigation is also very relevant. So for positioning and timing services, for autonomous vehicles such as drones, so tracking and tracing services. And finally, we also have satellite communication services. So these can also bring added value to the whole digitalization and the interconnectivity of our energy system. So they can serve as a backup, for example, when terrestrial systems are down. And of course, they will also play an important role for the 5G transition.